The mother of two has revealed how she feared she was going to die after her boyfriend headbutted, punched and choked her until she was unconscious while the children slept upstairs. Ms Naylor, 30, from Litherland, Merseyside, was attacked after she returned home from a family party on March 8 last year. Partner Ryan Thorp, 25, had not attended the party and was at home babysitting their two young children now aged 4 and 2. But Ms Naylor said Thorp had started to send her aggressive text messages while she was out, and she knew there was going to be trouble. She returned home and Thorp launched a 20-minute attack during which he headbutted, punched and bit her, before choking her unconscious. Thorp, who was arrested a few days later in Worcester, was sentenced to 13 months in prison for assault occasioning actual bodily harm at Liverpool Crown Court yesterday. He has also been made subject to a 3-year restraining order. Ms Naylor told the Liverpool Echo, "I was at the party, and it got to a bit later in the night and I got a few texts from him. He was like, 'When are you coming back?' And I said, 'Not just yet.' His attitude changed then, so straight away I knew there was going to be trouble. He was sending me messages saying don't be taking the and things like that. When I got back, I put my key in the door and popped my head in the living room. He was still up sitting on the couch in the dark. This was 2:30 in the morning, even though it said in the messages for him to go to bed. When I came back downstairs I walked straight past him into the kitchen, and then he said, 'You fat,' and as I turned around he headbutted me. He headbutted me, punched me, bit me. I've got a scar on my arm from his bite. He hit me multiple times in the face. Bear in mind I had 2 kids and their beds in the house at the time. Ms Naylor said the vicious attack went on for around 20 minutes, culminating in Thorp choking her while she was on her hands and knees on the kitchen floor until she fell unconscious. She continued, "As I was coming to on the floor, I heard him in the living room in my back. He must have stood on my iPhone, because he came over and threw it at me, and it was bent like a banana. All the screen was smashed." He said, "There you are, there's your phone. I think he must have panicked and didn't want me to call the police. I didn't run out for help or anything as I was so scared. I just wanted to wait until it was safe and had gone to work the following day." Ms Naylor said she was thankful her children did not wake up to see the violence and took them to her mother's house for safety the next day. She arranged to have the locks in her home changed while Thorp was out at work, and when he returned she demanded he pack his things and leave. Ms Naylor then phoned the police to report what had happened and was taken to hospital when officers saw the extent of her injuries. she added. Police sent an ambulance here, and they asked me if I wanted to go to hospital. I said no, just because I was worried about the children. I was also scared and embarrassed about it all. They suspected I had a fractured skull at the front of my head. I've still got a lump on it now from where I was headbutted. Thorp, who was arrested a few days later in Worcester, was sentenced to 13 months in prison for assault occasioning actual bodily harm at Liverpool Crown Court yesterday. He has also been made subject to a 3-year restraining order. Ms Naylor said. What was so upsetting was my daughter seeing me in that way. I had to wear sunglasses to pick her up from nursery, even though it was raining. People were staring at me. It was humiliating and horrible. Except for one other occasion, Ms Naylor said her now ex-partner's behavior towards her had been verbally threatening more than physically threatening in the past. She said he displayed an intense jealousy of her having friends and was controlling and manipulative, but she never expected him to inflict such a brutal attack from which she still suffers psychologically. She said, "It's with me every day, every time I look in the mirror, and there's scars on my arm. Every time I walk in the kitchen. It's horrible. I think he'll have to move house at some point." When he was strangling me, I was terrified and was thinking, this is it, I'm going to die with 2 kids upstairs in bed. All I could think of was them. She continued, I'm trying to get on with my life, but I've still got bad anxiety. But each day is a new day. I feel better, that he's out of my life and he's not controlling me anymore. I feel like I can breathe again, if that makes sense. I think people should speak out about these things. I've got nothing to feel ashamed of. It needs to be out there to protect other women from him.